Welcome to Starting Prime, the brand new podcast brought to you by Prime Video Sport. I am Mooncey, alongside me, the amazing Azania, Stewart, and we're here to break down the biggest and best topics from around the world of the NBA. Z, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm feeling really excited to get this on the road, get it going. We're, a couple games, 25 games into the season, so a lot to talk about.
That's right. I spoke to an executive and he says he doesn't like evaluating his team until they've played 25 games. So what a perfect time to start this podcast, and what a beautiful set we've got going on.
Lovely.
Just look at the scenery.
Can I get this in my house, this table?
Maybe. Depends how good you are on this podcast. How about that? But, 25 games in, I think we've seen enough for some early predictions. I want to start right here with the MVP race. Who's been your MVP from the first quarter of the season so far?
I'm going with Nikola Jokic, the Joker himself, averaging a triple-double. Yet again, a fantastic season, averaging 29 points. He's got 12 rebounds, nearly 11 assists. So every single night, you know what you're going to get from him. The consistency, the footwork, lovely handles, the flashy passes behind the back. I know you've seen the nice,
I've not just seen them.
Head.
I've tried to do them when I play pickup.
I just think he's having a real stellar, and for me, he could have won last season, right? Yeah. And his numbers are up from the previous seasons that he won the MVP. So that is my vote.
That's a good
right
pick.
Now.
That's a solid pick.
Yours?
Jokic is in the mix every year. I feel like there's a few guys that are in the mix every year, but I'm going for a back-to-back MVP because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP last year, won the MVP of the finals, and he's picked up right where he left off. He has been amazing. As the Thunder have gotten off to a historic start, they're on pace for 70 wins or maybe even more this season. I know they did lose in the NBA Cup, but they lost in the NBA Cup last year, and that fueled them to go and win the championship, right?
And wouldn't you rather lose in the Cup and win the NBA championship? I mean, you never want to lose.
You never want to. All you want to do is win, but sometimes if you're on a winning streak like OKC have been, they lost one game up until that point. Yeah. It's easy for them to get comfortable. Sometimes you need the wake-up call. Sometimes you need to know there's a 7'5" Frenchman who's coming to snatch your chain. Yeah. You need to be like, all right, guys, we can't rest. We can't take this for granted. We've got to really lock in. Yeah. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on 98 straight games of 20-plus points. Yeah. Okay. The next best player on that list in terms of a 20-point streak is Tyler Herro with 16. So we talk about consistency. Shai has the quote of everything in my life is consistent. And you can see that effect has rubbed off on his teammates. The OKC Thunder, led by Shai and the example he sets and the camaraderie he builds with his squad, they've got guys on two-way contracts, guys coming out of the G League. They're really elevating their game. Yeah. Shai's getting it done efficiently. The biggest hole in his game previously with his three-point shooting this season
is up.
5 threes a game, 44% from behind the arc. That's crazy.
And he was in mid-30s last season. So that was one of his weaknesses, and now it's even up higher.
He won a championship, and he got even better, right? And he's second in scoring in the NBA, 32.4 points. He's scoring at a level of efficiency with so few turnovers that statistically we've not seen since Michael Jordan. That's to put into context just how great this young man is. And my favorite part of his game that doesn't get talked about at all, his defense. Like, we talk about Jokic. Yeah, Jokic is a great player. He's an okay defender. He can hold his own, but he's not locking anyone up, right? Luka Doncic, he's a great scorer, but he doesn't play any defense. Okay. But Shai is an aggressive defender. OKC have got 5 guys out there at all times. Yeah. Oftentimes with superstars, they don't defend like the other players do.
I would agree with you with that, but that's how the OKC are built, because all 5 players are so aggressive, and I love that about them, because if I'm a referee, how do I ref that if all 5 guys are, passing lanes, running, they're aggressive. So I think he's on that lovely, squad. They're doing really well, and I think you're right about the kind of the bullseye on their back, everyone's coming, and they lose in the semi-finals. That feels like it was coming, but like you said, a Frenchman to come snatch his chain.
There you go.
It's a
good
one.
And the thing is with Shai as well, right, is he's second in the league in scoring. He's only touching the ball about 66 times per game. For context, someone like Jalen Brunson gets 96, 98 touches, right? He touches the ball a lot less than Jokic, than Luka, than all the other superstars, yet he's so efficient when he does have the basketball. So he's my MVP so far, but I'll put an asterisk on it, right?
Yeah.
Because my real MVP won't be able to win the award because Victor Wembanyama can only miss 5 more games this season because
he's missed 12 already.
If you guys didn't know at home, you have to play 65 or more games to be eligible for any awards in the NBA. So the most valuable player award is obviously the most prestige one. And Wemby has missed a little bit of time right now. But if he played 65 games, I'm giving him my MVP. But there's a lot of guys that could be in this mix. Luka's leading the league in scoring. He's got the Lakers, I think, performing better than a lot of people expected.
Yeah, leading the league in scoring, 34 points. So.
And then Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. People thought the Celtics would be down and out. They're right in the playoff picture. So we got to show some love to Jaylen Brown. Yep. We got to show some love to Cade Cunningham, taking the Detroit Pistons, who 2 years ago were on a 28-game losing streak, to the number 1 seed in the East.
Yep.
We got to show some love to Cade. Giannis as well has missed time with injury, but when he plays, he's one of those players like Jokic, right, who could be in the mix to win it every year. And also Tyrese Maxey.
Yep,
Tyrese Maxey over in Philly, because he started the season. I feel like people have forgotten about him a little bit as the season's gone on, because the way he started this year was electric.
Yeah. And a little Donovan Mitchell.
No.
No?
Not at all.
Why not?
Not at all.
He's
the
top
Cavs,
5 in scoring.
The Cavs were supposed to be favourites to win the Eastern Conference. They're not even top 4 in the Eastern Conference whilst we're recording this podcast today. And I know they've had injuries to Garland and Jarrett Allen, and now Mobley's out with a calf strain. Donovan Mitchell's been playing well. But when you've got that level of expectation on you, in the Eastern Conference where there's no Jason Tatum, no Tyrese Halliburton, Giannis is out with an injury, come on, man. I got to see the Cavs as a top 2, minimum top 3 seed if you want to win an NBA award.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'm going back to just Joker, because I think people are getting bored of greatness. And the thing is, it's tough to be consistent and, come out every single night. So I like it. We're only 25 games in. We've got time. This is only our first episode. We'll rerun this.
We've got to see what the people think in the comments as well. Yeah. Who are your guys' MVPs? You let us know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear from the people because I'm a man of the people.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
They sure will. So I love that. So the MVP run, a lot of great guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how Victor, like you said, he missed 12 games, but the Spurs went 9-3 without him. So a real playoff looking team. They've beaten OKC as well. So I'm excited for the Spurs. Well, okay, so let's talk about some players that fly under the radar.
Oh, we're showing everyone love today.
We're going to show some guys.
Except the Cavs.
Right. Well, we're going to give some guys that give them their flowers.
Absolutely.
Is basically, and I'm going to call it "Give him his flowers."
Okay.
Give that man his flowers.
Yeah.
I'll give you yours.
Thank you.
Okay, who are you going with?
I'm going for the Big Easy. My man Derek Queen over there in New Orleans.
Yes.
One thing I love in this world is proving people wrong.
All right.
The NBA draft last summer, Joe Dumas, my good friend over in New Orleans, he made a trade that stunned the NBA world. Right. He gave away their pick for next year, which right now is looking like it's going to be a top 5 pick, just to go and draft Derek Queen in the 2025 draft, right? And everyone said, Joe, you're crazy. What are you doing that deal for? But you see, Joe knows a thing or two about winning championships from his time with the Pistons, not just as an executive, but as a player as well, okay? He saw Derek Queen, and he identified a talent that a lot of the other people in the league didn't see. Because what you talk about with Jokic, watch Derek Queen play. He's not an orthodox center, right? He's an elite playmaker. He's an elite scorer. Now, defensively, just like Jokic, there's some gaps in his game, but I've got some numbers written down here that are insane, right? So this is a player who didn't have training camp. He was injured. He didn't have a preseason. He was injured. He had the whole world going crazy at the Pelicans saying, why did you pick him? You should have kept next year's pick, da-da-da. And he said, I'm not going to listen to any of the noise. I'm averaging 17, 6, and 6. Do you know the only other rookie centers to average 17, 6, and 6?
Is?
Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
Brad Doherty, Alvin Adams, Bill Walton, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's legendary company. Yeah. So worst case, he's an all-star. Best case, he's one of the best players that we see, right? Okay. Now, I'm not saying he's going to reach the levels of Wemby or Kareem, right? But he's, for a rookie, first in total assists, first in total rebounds, second in player efficiency, second in total blocks, fourth in total points, fourth in total steals, whilst playing 180 plus less minutes than Cooper Flagg or Con Kneppel in the Charlotte Hornets. And some of the stat lines he's put out, some of the performances he's put out, he had a 30-point triple-double.
Incredible.
As a rookie. Yeah. The only other players before they were 21 to do that, LeBron, Luka, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox.
Well,
So
give that man his flowers.
I'm giving all the flowers to Derek Queen.
Yeah,
He deserves them.
Okay, no, that's a good one. I've got two here. First of all, I've got to give a shout out to Stephen Adams. One,
Yes.
because I was a post player when I used to play, so I love probably why I like Joker as well. But Stephen Adams is number one in offensive rebounding. And I think he's a big reason why the Rockets are third in the table. And I think people forget about all the small things that you need to do. The big screens, he's a team player. He's hitting the boards and he's, not scoring that much, but hitting KD, hitting the guys. So for me, I love that kind of glue player, but also somebody that you can rely on, and just strong. But I just love his. Is he Aquaman? I don't know. He could be a bit
Jason Momoa lookalike.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, you know what I really like is the Houston Rockets have made offensive rebounding part of their identity.
Yes, crashing the boards.
In the modern NBA, the best time to shoot a three-pointer is off an offensive rebound. So guys like Steven Adams, they went and got Clint Capella as well. They've got Alper and Şengün. As a team, even Amen Thompson, he can sky for those rebounds. So as a team, they do a great job of offensive rebounding, and the tone is set by Steven Adams. The thing about Steven Adams for me is anytime I've, spoken to him or been around him, he's one of the funniest guys in the NBA. But he's also probably the last guy in the NBA that anyone wants to mess with. Do you remember when Tony Bradley was trying to square up to one of his teammates and he just picked him up and walked off with him?
And you need that kind of player.
You need an enforcer.
Yeah.
Every team needs an enforcer. Yep. And he does it. He doesn't say a lot. He doesn't say too much. He just provides toughness and he provides what that team needs. Yep. That identity.
And he doesn't want the accolades. He doesn't want the shine, but we'll give him his flowers.
And this is a problem like Jokic had in previous years. This year they've got Valanciunas coming off the bench in Denver, who I think is a fantastic player. But previously, a lot of teams, when their star player sits, the team kind of drops off. Yeah. So now when Şengün sits, it's not that Steven Adams can score or create shots in the way that Şengün can, but they play a different style of basketball. They might go to more pick and roll stuff, but the team doesn't fall off a cliff when their superstar is sitting on the bench, right? So I think providing that depth for this team, Steven Adams deserves flowers every season for what he brings.
Do you have anyone else, or?
I've got another one.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a little bit biased. I'm gonna have to share with my audience here at Prime Video Sport that I am indeed a Celtics fan, as you might be able to tell, right? So I'm giving some flowers to a player.
No, but keep it open.
Yeah, come on, that's my dog KG. Come on, Jordan Walsh.
Okay,
a player that a lot of people might not have heard of. He won't make many headlines, but talking about players who do the dirty work, his nickname is the Garbage Man.
Okay.
A nickname that he actually hates, but all the rest of the team love it, right? So Jalen and all the guys, they call him the Garbage Man because he does the dirty work.
But you need a guy like this.
This is his third season in the NBA, and this is what really stands out to me is his first 2 seasons, he played a combined 61 games. Not because of injury, not because of anything. I mean, the Celtics were contending for a championship. They didn't have minutes to give this young man.
Yeah.
A lot of young players in that situation would have asked for a trade or their head would have just dropped. He stayed ready. And the moment they needed him this season, he stepped into that team. Well, first of all, since he became a starter, they're 10-2 with him in the starting lineup. He went on a 3-game streak where he basically didn't miss a shot, right? He wasn't known as an offensive player. He's shooting almost 50% from 3, but defensively is where he earns his nickname of the Garbage Man. Every single person he matches up with has a horrible game. Yeah. And it's not just that he can only guard on the wings. So he guards Austin Reeves for 23 possession. Austin Reeves doesn't score a single time. He guards Donovan Mitchell, who you wanted to put in the MVP conversation, for 43 possessions. Donovan Mitchell goes 2 of 8.
We just were giving him a shout out. It's 25 games in. Don't give me a hard time already, Mo.
Already. He guards Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
28 possessions in the game. 0 of 6. And then, so he's guarding these point guards and these wings. Then he goes and guards Karl Anthony Towns. And Karl Anthony Towns goes 1 of 4. So we're looking at a guy here who can guard almost every position in the NBA.
Incredible.
He's elite on the ball. He's elite off the ball, chasing through screens, getting into passing lanes. He is I don't even have the words to describe how good of a defender he is and how great it's going to be when Jason Tatum comes back and you've got a lineup with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Jordan Walsh. That's the trio on the wing. And then you've got Hugo Gonzalez, the rookie. Those are 4 elite defenders.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one more, kind of like him, but Colin Gillespie for Phoenix Suns. I picked him because I got to watch a couple of games of him, and his numbers have just doubled, tripled. He started in Denver, was averaging 9 minutes and under 4 points, and then he moves to Phoenix. He goes for 14 points and now he's at 6 points. And then this season, incredible, he's playing 27 minutes and averaging 13 points and dropped a 38 bomb against the Lakers. So like you said, just more of an energy player, a garbage player, a spark kind of guy. And that's what they need. The Phoenix Suns are, struggling, having a couple of injuries. Obviously, they traded away KD and some pieces. So I really like the fact that he's improving every single game, kind of a guy, if Booker's injured, if not, kind of coming in, starting. So I wanted to give him his flowers as well.
You see me smiling. That's just because I'm a Celtics fan. So anytime you talk about someone dropping 38 on the Lakers, I'm going to smile. Just so you guys know. Phoenix have done a great job shifting their culture.
Yeah.
They went from being a team that was chasing superstars, Brad Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, all together on one team. That's not the recipe for success in the modern NBA. They realized that a little bit too late, with no disrespect to Brad Beal or Kevin Durant, but it just wasn't the right fit over there. But what I love that they've done this season is they brought in a new culture, new coach and a new culture, and Gillespie's been doing a great job. But I also think Dylan, the villain, Brooks, needs some flowers too, because he's a very hated player, right? A lot of people don't like Dylan Brooks. But if you want to know why Phoenix are playing like this, you need these guys on your team in your locker room to bring the toughness and bring the mentality. They're not going to back down to anyone. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Phoenix in this new era of Suns basketball.
Yeah, and Brooks, I don't know. We give him his flowers, you're right. But I think you need players like that. Like you talked about garbage players, but you need dogs who just don't like to lose, don't care who you are. If you're a LeBron, if you're Curry, there you go.
This is why Kevin Garnett
Why
was my favorite player.
You didn't tell me you were going to wear a T-shirt like that. I would have.
It goes with the green and the green and the green. I'm trying to be fashionable here, for the lovely people at Prime Video Sport. I'm trying to get my fashion.
Well, you look
on.
lovely, Mo.
I appreciate you.
You haven't complimented me. Sorry.
I don't need to. It goes without saying.
Okay, thanks. That's the flowers. Okay, we love that. So those guys.
We're talking about guys who are doing really well in their situations. But how about some guys who are doing well, but they might not be too happy in their situations? Because around this time of the season, 25 games in, this is when players who were signed in the off-season become eligible to be traded.
Yeah.
So if anyone's a new fan of the NBA, it's not like football where you can just buy a player.
No.
Right? You have to trade players, and there's a salary cap. So when you do a trade, the salaries have to match up with, if you're giving away a player who's making 50 million, you could maybe get back 2 players making 25 million each. Yep. There's a bit more to it than that, but that's like the basic.
As well.
Yeah, so from now, we're recording this on the 15th of December, up until All-Star break.
Yeah,
it's just
February.
before All-Star break, the trade deadline. You got a couple months here, and we're going to see some moves in the NBA because a lot of people have got a lot of whispers, and there is no bigger talking point right now than Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Ooh. And the thing is, players have been really vocal about this season, especially Giannis, Ja Morant. They've really come out and said, I'm not happy here. I want to be moved, or, some issues have been coming up. So we're talking about who wants to go where, or where
let's talk about where we would like to see some of these guys, right? Okay. We're talking about Giannis. Let's start with Giannis, right? I think more than likely it will be Miami or New York where he wants to go.
Yeah.
But that's not where I would want him to go.
Okay, tell me.
There's 2 teams I have down here, right?
Yeah.
The first team, I don't think is realistic at all. But there is a way to make it work. Okay. But I watch Stephen Curry, and every game I watch Stephen Curry. He's one of the greatest players we've ever seen. That man needs some help.
Yeah.
Okay? I know they went and got Jimmy Butler, right? I know they've got Draymond Green still going. But for me, it's not enough to win a championship. And I think a player of Steph's caliber who's still producing at this level at his age deserves a team that can make a run to the finals, especially in that tough Western Conference. And putting Giannis on the same team as Steph, now that would be a nightmare for everyone.
Especially the way Giannis plays. Obviously, gets downhill, attacks the rim, aggressive dunks. So the defense would have to definitely suck in. But then once he kicks it out, the efficiency, the way Curry shoots. Okay, I like that. Do they have enough
They could give up a package, Jonathan Kuminga, who's a young player who's not really met his potential in Golden State.
I don't know if they want to give up Kuminga, though.
Steve Kerr definitely wants to give up Kuminga. He hates that man.
If you want Giannis, you're going to have to give up a lot.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Go on then.
You've got Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
You've got Draymond Green, who the Bucks wouldn't want Draymond Green, but you can reroute him to another team who's looking for a veteran leader, a defender with championship experience.
Okay.
And you can then get more draft assets in return. You throw in Buddy Hield to the deal, who's a shooter on a cheap contract, and then you give it 1, 2, 3, 4 first-round picks. If I'm Golden State, I'm calling and asking. If I'm Milwaukee, I don't know if I say yes.
There's just a lot of role players and that are going to be uprooted for Giannis. Like a lot of pieces have to be traded off. A successful trade. I do think the Rockets for KD. That was a lot of players for, like you talked about, the salary cap. The one I didn't love that I want to talk about before I talk about my guy, but that Knicks and Timberwolves trade with. I didn't love it. I thought Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns, I liked them where they were. And the mix-up. Towns is playing fantastic at New York, but I think the Brunson force, and he's doing...
do you think the Knicks were better with Julius Randle than Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think the Timberwolves were better with Karl Anthony Towns than Julius Randle?
I just didn't like the whole... DiVincenzo as well. I don't know. I just thought I'm not a big fan of it, but I do think it took them a little bit of time to get going. But the Knicks have done well in the NBA Cup. First of all, I love the NBA Cup.
Oh yeah,
it's the third season this season, and it's just brought the excitement back into the NBA because I feel like an 82 game. It's a long season, out of anyone. Just it kind of gets, there's moments that you're like, okay, where I feel like you put a bit of money on the line, as Shay said, and just brings in the intensity. As a player, you don't want to lose, and a little bit of bragging rights. And I've really enjoyed this cup this season.
And do you know what else I love? Not anything to do with the logo behind us, but the presentation on Prime Video, the level of detail, right? Because I've watched every NBA broadcast possible for the last, you don't even want to know how many years, right?
A decade.
But like, for example, in the semifinals, the interviews that Taylor Rooks did with Victor Wembanyama, like the way it was filmed, the cinematography in the interviews, it's not just regular basketball. They're making an effort to make it cinematic. It's a showcase. It's really something special.
And the Prime Studios as well. I like that. The different kind of rooms, the chill out area. And honestly, sometimes I go to sleep with the sound. I'll be sleeping and I'm like, oh my gosh, come on. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I want to talk about Ja Morant. I think Miami.
Ja Morant to Miami.
Yeah. Just a strong culture, a playoff experience. I think where he's been struggling has been off court. And I think, I don't know if Miami would help him.
Well, Miami have Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, right?
Yes.
And you talk about a culture in the NBA.
That part.
Every team talks about culture.
Mm-hmm.
Every team talks the talk. Not many walk the walk, but the Miami Heat most definitely do. Okay. If there's anywhere that's going to make you focus, first of all, do you know the level of condition you have to be in to play for the Miami Heat? The conditioning test you have to do is a set of sprints with a time limit on them. But if you don't pass the tests, you're not allowed to start training camp. You keep running until you've run your sprints in the under 60 seconds per sprint that they have the time limit for.
And I think, Ja would definitely make that. But I think that's what he needs. And it's a win now fit with, Tyler Hero and also Bam Adebayo. I think those are some really lovely pieces that he can, like you said, the culture for him to come in focused, can make a push. I like it.
But who would Miami have to give up then?
Yeah.
Because you said Tyler Hero, you said, but someone's got to go out for Ja Morant to come in. Who are you giving up if you're Miami?
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I would have to, I don't know. I think he needs help more than anything. It's not working at the Grizzlies for a long time, and I just think he needs, I don't know about the pieces though. You're right. Who do you
See,
give
you're
up?
trying to be nice about everyone. I'm going to say if I'm Miami, I'm trading Tyler Hero. I'm going to just say that. I'm going to just say it for you.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you.
I mean, we've got Norman Powell at the shooting guard now. He can score enough. Tyler, you can pack your bag. You can go to Milwaukee. You can go to Memphis. No disrespect to you.
Pack your bag.
You know, there's some real talented players on the NBA that you could even go out and get.
Yeah, but do you want, there's a lot that comes with him. I think he just needs some fresh air. I think he needs a new place. Why not South Beach and sorting things out? So that's my opinion.
I think the talent is there. Mm-hmm. If I'm an executive in the NBA, I'm not trading for Ja Morant though. Mm-hmm. Because I've not seen the development of his game throughout his career so far. He came into the league as one of the most exciting rookies you've ever seen in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's just flying over the top of the defense and dunking everything, getting out on the break. Fantastic, right? Every season since his rookie year, his attempts at the rim have gone down. And you would think, oh, cool, he's shooting less at the basket, less dunks, less layups, because he's scoring more from outside. But he's not worked on that outside shot. Yeah. And for me, it's not a question of, oh, if he's going to come to Miami, he's going to get his head screwed on. If you want to be great, there's a hunger that the all-time greats have that can't be taught, that you can't learn how to do by being in a certain place. Gilgeous-Alexander, we talked about earlier, his shooting improved over the offseason. So what did Shai do in the offseason that Ja Morant didn't do? Because Shai's improved his three ball.
Yeah, he's worked.
And Shai's got the in-between game as well. Whereas Ja Morant, I've not seen, he's obviously had unfortunate injuries, but I've not seen that growth in his game that you would want to see from a player who's going to command a supermax extension when his contract expires.
Well, I think he's just unhappy. And sometimes that unhappiness then...
I think it doesn't matter how you feel. The work is the work.
Maybe
I'm old school, 100%.
Right?
But
no,
if you want to win...
No, I'm here for that as well. But also, your environment, your health, mental health. But we don't know.
Speaking of that, though...
Yeah, go on then.
Zion Williamson.
Oh, gosh. I struggle with Zion.
Why?
Because I just feel like the same thing. The potential, the deals, he's got his own shoe line. The NBA was his, for him to take. What are we calling this? His
dominion.
Yeah, his whole everything. The table, this basketball table, was all his to take. And for me, the same way what you were talking about, working on his game, taking his health seriously, I think he needed to trim down a little bit. And sadly, it's just injury after injury, and he's just not able to get in a good rhythm. He's come out and said a few things about, his health and trying to get himself going. But I was annoyed about this actually. In pre-season, he was like 360 dunking. Great, fantastic. It's lovely for the highlights, but we're in pre-season, bro, and you're injury prone and a hamstring goes like a couple weeks later. So for me, it's managing, and actually it's like Derrick Rose, where in his early seasons, he was an MVP, he was doing a madness. He's dunking everywhere. He's flying out. And as, his body started to break down, you saw his game evolve and change. And sometimes you don't need that to do that 360 dunk. It's the same as a layup. I get it. There are moments that you need the highlight, the momentum swing. But for Zion, he needs to change his mindset. You do not need to be 360 dunking in a preseason game when you can't even go for 10 games in a row.
I got to say this, though. They were playing preseason in Australia. Those fans in Australia are not going to come to America to watch a Pelicans game. So he wanted to put on a show for the fans who are 20,000 miles away. You put on a show
and then you sit down for the rest of the season.
I respect. He obviously didn't plan to sit down for the rest of the season. But I hear what you're saying. It's been tough. He's not been healthy. But when he does play, he's a top 15 player in the NBA.
100%. But also you have to stay in your lane.
See, I've spoken to the Pelicans about this, right? I said, what's the deal with the doctors over there? Because the Pelicans are never, ever healthy. And it's not just Zion, though. Yeah. Last season, they were calling guys up to play for them who weren't on NBA teams. They were literally calling guys who were sat at home, out of the league, because they needed healthy bodies on the roster. So I think it's like, talking about Ja Morant being unhappy in Memphis, Zion Williamson came into the Pelicans who, up until maybe this season, was not a great place to be an NBA player because so many players on that roster got injured again and again and again. And at some point, you just have to look at, okay, what's the common denominator here with all of these players? They can't all be injury prone. There has to be something going on that we can't see from this side of the fence. So maybe a fresh start for Zion. Can you think of any teams that you would want to see him playing on, or any players you want to see him playing with?
I thought about this. I was like, where could I see him? Like, I really struggle to see him. He needs definitely a fresh start. But where do I see him? Where do you see him?
I thought a couple of places, right?
I thought maybe Brooklyn, because they're looking for a superstar, and they've got pieces to give him. Or the Hawks, maybe a nice pick and roll with. I
was thinking Chicago. You can get a deal done for Patrick Williams, who's been kind of underwhelming since he signed his contract extension, and Zach Collins, right? The money works. And Zion's signed with Jordan Brand, and obviously Michael Jordan, Chicago.
Yeah.
Every time he dunks in that arena,
they would
they're
go
going to put it on the
cillboard.
billboard.
Okay, I didn't think about
I like it from a branding
balls.
perspective. I also thought about the Hornets, near where he grew up, South Carolina. They've got some expiring contracts and stuff that the Pelicans could be interested in. Maybe throw in a draft pick, and then you've got Zion and you've got LaMelo, two guys who are injured a lot. But if you can get them both healthy at the same time, you've got two top 15 players. Plus Con Kneppel, who's now the face of their franchise. Plus Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
they look a little different.
You got four guys there who can really play.
Okay, I like that.
But I say that like LaMelo Ball might be on his way out as well.
So I was going to say, what about Ball? Okay, I'm happy with those. Yeah, nice move.
You want to tell me anywhere you think AD can go? Because Anthony Davis in Dallas, that's not got off to a great start and it stayed pretty bad. But I thought long and hard about this.
Tell me.
I can't think of a team who would want to trade for Anthony Davis and it would actually make sense. I can't.
Because he's injury
He got injured in
too.
his first game for the Mavericks, right? You've come over you got traded for Luka Doncic, okay? So the Dallas Mavericks have said they think you are as good as Luka. You get injured in your first game, and it's terrible, right? Because I was watching that first game, and he had an amazing start to the game, right? And I said to my friend who I was watching the game with, I said, he's going to get injured today. He says, how do you know? I said, he's playing off adrenaline. No, I'm not bad vibes. I've just watched this. I know enough about this, right?
But he reminds me of Zion in the fact of he hasn't learned his body yet. Like
what do you mean he hasn't learned? He's 32.
No, that's what I'm
saying.
saying. But for me, it's like you can't do. He will. A ball's going out of bounds and he'll fly and go get it. Sometimes you just let it go out of bounds. It's just he hasn't. You're right. He's 32. Why have you not learnt your body? But I struggle with him because when I watch him play, he's still like Bambi. So I don't get it. But go on, tell me.
So you got injured that first game. You were just playing off adrenaline, gets injured, comes back, plays 9 games, gets injured again, needs eye surgery in the off season, so we can't have a proper off season to get in shape. Comes back again, gets injured, misses 15 of 25 games this season. He has 3 years left on a giant contract.
Yeah, nobody can.
Every day I'm scrolling my Twitter feed and everyone's talking about Anthony Davis trade rumors. Who wants this guy? And when he's healthy, he's an amazing player, a defensive force. But it's when he's healthy, and that when is just not enough. At least with LaMelo and Zion, they're young enough that you can take a chance on them if you don't have anything else going for your franchise. Maybe we get this guy here, he turns things around. But Anthony Davis, you're like, well, he's going to come here, play out the rest of his contract, and then maybe retire? So we've just got a 3-year rental of Anthony Davis for maybe like 20 games over 3 years. So I could not think.
I was the same. I
would love to know if anyone out there can tell me where they think Anthony Davis should get traded to.
I think that's a really good question.
Yeah, I would love it.
I can't wait to see that.
So hopefully lots of moves on the way in the
next couple of months.
In the NBA. Yeah, next couple of months. It should be exciting. So stay locked in right here on Prime Video Sport, because we'll be bringing you the latest and the greatest that you need to know. So a lot of moves to come over the next few months in the NBA. Trade season is upon us, but the festive season is also upon us. You can see we've got the little Santa hat up there.
The real question, sorry, do you have my gift or?
Yeah. In fact, here it is. It's the notes for today's show. But, with Christmas around the corner, that means New Year's around the corner and a new year in the NBA. I want us to know if you have any hot takes or predictions for what 2026 has in store. And don't give me a boring one like OKC are going to win a championship again. No. Give me something spicy.
Do the Celtics, this is a bit of you, does Tatum come back, or do they shut him completely down and say, you're not coming back this season and you're fresh for the next? So what do you think?
No, I want a hot take though. So I want you to tell me that Jason Tatum's coming back and the Celtics are winning it all. That's what I want to hear.
For you, yeah. Do you know what? I think he will come back.
Yes.
I think he will come back. There's clips of him already playing. He had an Achilles injury, and I've known a couple of my teammates. That's not an easy injury to come back from. It's really difficult. You're in a boot for a really long time. So the fact that I'm already seeing him online dunk him,
step back, side step,
one-on-ones already, that's really exciting.
He moves better than me, and I've never torn my
You're a granddad, that's why. So my hot take is Tatum comes back in 2026.
And the Celtics will win.
I can't tell you that. I'm not giving you that.
No, but I like that.
You didn't tell me you were going to wear that T-shirt, so I'm not giving you that.
I like that. With Jason Tatum, I know he wants to come back. Yeah. It's always been his plan. The question is, does the medical staff allow him to? Does his trainer allow him to?
That's the question.
But I feel like if the Celtics stay where they are, top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference,
they bring him back.
And he looks at the rest of the conference and he says, this is mine.
Yeah.
He's been running the Eastern Conference since he came into the league. Yeah. He's a resident in the conference finals. That's where he lives. Now he's trying to live in the NBA finals every year. So I like that.
Especially it's the Celtics.
Yeah, come on.
Gosh. Come on. Tell me yours.
I have a theory. This is slightly nerdy for the basketball nerds out there.
Okay, tell me.
This era of the NBA is all about pace and space and shooting threes and a lot of it. Mm-hmm. I think in 2026 we start to see the end of that, because so many players are missing so many games with so many injuries that are caused by playing at this insane tempo that we've got going on in the NBA.
So many injuries.
Everyone's got a calf strain.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a calf strain.
Or a groin.
Yeah.
Groin injury.
So
calf strain.
We talked about Derek Queen. You talked about Nikola Jokic. You talk about guys like Alper and Şengün, right? Those are 3 teams that are now kind of playing from the inside out. Well, even if it's the big man handling the ball on the perimeter, he's still getting inside and getting to work like that.
Yeah.
I think
Şengün.
For a long time, everyone saw Stephen Curry, and everyone wanted to play like Stephen Curry. The problem is everyone's not Stephen Curry. He's unique. I don't think people understand. Stephen Curry is the second strongest player on the Warriors when the Warriors were in their prime. When we're talking about being in the weight room, he could lift more than almost every one of his teammates. But he just doesn't look like it, right? Yeah. He is not a normal human being.
You have to be super strong when he's not even shooting half-court shots for his warm-up. He's like in the tunnel.
He could shoot from here over the ocean and get it into the Chase Center, right? But he's not a normal human, what he's able to do, right? But this style of play that we've got in the NBA, right, where everyone's playing as fast as they can, everyone's sprinting, and then they're stretching to a 5-out offense, right? That means everyone stands around the 3-point line. And that means the defense has to cover so much space. I think there might be 1 or 2 teams that start to say, okay, cool. Everyone's going this way. We're going to go this way. We're going to play from the inside out. We're going to get a big fella on the post.
Yep.
Because there's so much spacing now, if you can get an elite post scorer on your team who can score reliably and consistently on the post, the opponent is forced to double team. That leaves 3-point shooters open. So you're still going to get the 3-pointers. It's just the way in which they're generated might start to change because they try and preserve the health of some of these players.
Yeah, and I think the Rockets are a fine example with that, with Şengün. Outstanding. Like I said, I was a post player in my day. Not as good as Şengün, but I did my thing.
Almost.
Well, it depends who you ask. And but you're right. His ability, his footwork, his handles. Honestly, chef kiss of how he plays. And then, like you said, the defense is collapsing on him because you have to worry about him and how he's scoring. But then his passing game is fantastic. But then who have you got? You've got Mr. KD on the 3-point line.
Easy money sniper.
The Slim Reaper. That is a great pickup for the Rockets. But like you said, that is a real nice slow it down or get it in the post, kind of going back old school
And
basketball.
it's not just the big fellas, though, because Cade Cunningham does a fantastic job because he's tall for a point guard.
Yeah.
When he's being guarded by someone smaller, he's more than happy to take them to the post. Drew Holiday, another point guard who's great at posting up. Jalen Brunson doesn't really post up, but you see the way he attacks downhill, gets 2 feet in the paint, then he plays off the pivot.
Yeah.
He plays with the footwork that a post player would play with, right?
Yeah, gets in the body.
Since 2013, isolation plays and dribble handoffs have gone up 50%. Post-ups have gone down by 2/3. So that's my prediction for 2026 is we see the rise of the post-up, which I'm here for.
I'm here for too. I like that. Okay.
Okay, well, Z, you asked for a Christmas present, and here's a present from our production team.
What?
We're going to play a game called Overrated or Underrated, where I'm going to give you a topic, and you tell me if you think it's overrated or underrated.
Okay.
But you have to be honest. Okay?
Wow, this is a lovely gift.
It's putting you on the spot right here. You weren't ready for this.
I wasn't. Okay.
Halftime shows, overrated or underrated?
Halftime shows. Overrated. No, I don't know.
Can't ever in your life tell me Red Panda is overrated. No way. All the other halftime shows maybe, but we got to respect the GOAT halftime performer, Miss Red Panda.
No, I like a halftime
If you're going to a game,
if you're going to a game, underrated.
If you're going to a game and you can pick the halftime entertainment, what do you want to see though?
I like a drum line or a band to come out. I don't know. I like
drum line.
I like live music. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I want to see Beyonce. I don't want to see a guy with a drum.
No, but like imagine a fool come in and
like a college vibe then, a college kind of band.
Yeah, and you're in there and you're rocking. You know, that's kind of what I want. But also, you see fun ones. You know, the women that like they pour confetti over them and their dress changes. I don't know if I
think a magician.
I just don't think that's overrated.
Okay, tunnel walks and pre-game fits, overrated or underrated?
Love them.
Yeah?
Yeah, love them.
All right, give me your top 3 best dressed in the NBA. And I'm out of the players, not including me.
Okay, right. So I really like Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I think for how he's, some people have him in 7'4", 7'5", but to dress, I'm 6'4", and I find it difficult to find nice clothes and to, especially smart clothes.
It helps when he's sponsored by Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that definitely helps. But I just think he's, and considering his height, well dressed, very smart. I like him. He's up there. Who else do I like? I do like LeBron James. Sorry. Not your fave, but we will go with LeBron. I just think he's classy, and he does a bit of everything. So he also I think his style is swaggy.
I made a face though because if I'm Bronny, why is my dad dressing better than me?
That's
true. Imagine you trying to go somewhere and you trying to impress people and your dad's got a fresher fit than you. I would be mad. I'd be like, Pops, what are you doing?
Do you think
wear a suit? You're 40 now.
But do you think LeBron lets him go in his wardrobe and his closet?
They're not even close to the same size.
But some nice jewelry pieces. But
maybe,
you're right.
Maybe.
Okay, and who else do I like? Who else do I think dresses well?
If you say Kyle Kuzma, I'm walking out of here right now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna just let you know.
The pink big.
Oh no.
I prefer his fiance, his Winnie Harlow.
Yes.
She dresses
Stylish.
great for the Bucks games. Who's your favorite?
Herb Jones.
I don't think I've seen many.
He just wears the team tracksuit to every game.
I was going to say, I don't think I've seen his.
He's focused on playing defense. That's my kind of.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Boring.
I have a thing.
But then
there's players in the NBA,
no.
right? There's players in the NBA who care more about the outfit than they do about winning the game.
Feel good, look good, Mo.
Only the winners should be allowed to wear that. Everyone should come in wearing their team tracksuit, but the winners are allowed to walk out in whatever outfit they want. Because they're putting so much I've spoken to some players and they put serious thought into what they're actually going to wear to the game, right?
Everything.
And I'm like, guys, it's game day. What are we doing here in the Louis Vuitton store? Come on, man.
I like it.
I hear it. But some of the outfits, though. Because you said LeBron. I remember when he turned up to a playoff game in a suit with shorts. You remember that?
Isn't that like?
Can we edit in a picture of that?
Isn't there a meme where he picks up his bag?
Where he picks up his handbag and just walks out of the press conference. That was one of the worst bits I've ever seen. So when it got to that point, at some point, enough is enough. But I guess this is why the kids call me Unc nowadays. Because I'm just getting too old school with my takes. All right, fan cams, underrated or overrated?
Underrated.
Underrated?
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of fan cam?
Kiss cam.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. I can think of nothing worse than being in public and a camera comes on my face and tells me to kiss the girl next to me.
I like that one. The new one is the kids, the 6, 7. That's
I'm too old for that.
Yeah, that's a cool one. And then like playing of the drums.
No, do you know what I like? I like the
playing the maracas.
The filters. Have you seen the filter ones where they make people's like eyes massive or like makes them bold with the filter? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, I was thinking they show an emoji and then you have to do.
Should I tell you the worst fan cam I've ever seen though? I think it's in Utah. All right, this is like elite league pass knowledge. Like if you have watched games that no one else has any business watching, right? It's like a 40-point blowout.
Okay.
4 a.m. They have a cam, and I don't know what the name of it is, but they record people eating, and then they reverse the footage so it looks like people are producing the food out of their mouth. And it is disgusting, and I don't know who came up with that idea, but I was watching it. It came up at 4:30 in the morning, and I felt sick. So please do not ever do that again. I'm gonna look right into the camera. Please, never again. It's like a guy was eating a hot dog, but he was like, producing the hot dog, and I was like, this is. I don't even know what I'm watching anymore.
I need to see that. Or they do like celebrities, and then they pick people in the crowd that kind of resemble them. I like that one too. Okay.
Who do you want to be compared to then? On a celebrity lookalike? Or are you famous enough that you're the celebrity people look like? Is that what you're saying?
I don't have anyone. No, I don't have anyone. Just me.
I like that. Unique, one of one.
Yes.
Classic edition uniforms, overrated or underrated?
Underrated. I like them.
Big time.
Yeah, I like them. The throwbacks and all the teams, the different colours. It's quite nostalgic. No, I like it. Mm-hmm. I need a couple of those. Do we have?
That's for the set though. You can't take it home with you.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
All right. If it goes missing, it is Christmas and you owe me a present. So I like.
Who's your team though? I never got to ask you. Who's your team?
You're not gonna like my answer.
If you say Lakers, you have to leave and get a new guys. Can we get a new co-host if she says Lakers?
I don't have a team.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't have a team because I have a player. It's Kevin Durant.
Okay.
I don't have a team because I love basketball. I just like, it was the Spurs back in the day with, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. And then I just like good quality basketball. So right now I would say my team is the Rockets, but obviously KD's on there. So I kind of go through phases. It's been Denver Nuggets for a little bit. I was living in Denver, so I followed them and went to games. So I don't actually have a team that I think.
So what she's trying to say is whoever's winning is her team. That's really what she's trying to say is whoever's winning is going to be her team.
I'm just going to jump on the bandwagon.
All right.
No, but I just enjoy really good basketball.
Let me ask you one more. Overrated or underrated? The NBA Cup courts.
Overrated.
You don't like the floors?
Don't like them.
Why not?
I didn't like the Timberwolves bright green one.
Mm-mm.
I just think it's too much. It's doing too much. I think they could have simplified it, like still have the normal wooden court, but then have, accents or bits
I think
of pops.
the paint, the key being the NBA Cup trophy is fantastic.
That I like.
That's fantastic.
And in the middle,
court,
yeah. I like that.
But some of the colours.
Do you know what I mean?
They have to factor in the European fans who are watching this at 4 a.m. Bright green or bright red is just like...
Keeps you awake.
I'm putting on my sunglasses in my house.
Yes.
But I do love it though, because it's designed for like when people are flicking through channels, they see something that you don't usually see and it catches your eye.
Yeah.
And I think it has worked and it's done its job. It's like, oh, that's different. Let me have a look. What's this? Oh,
but
cool.
also it kind of, puts it apart from the rest of the regular season is the cup. So I do, there are some courts that I really like, but the really bright ones, no.
Yeah, well, I think
throw those in the
future of courts is interesting. Because I was at All-Star Weekend a few years ago. They had All-Star Saturday night with an LED court. So the court changed for everything that was going on.
Those are wicked.
Maybe that's the future of the NBA Cup. We have an LED court, that would be cool because it could also show in the NBA Cup. It's like points differential makes a difference in the group. So on the final night of group play, the court could tell them how many points they need to qualify to the next round.
Isn't that cheating?
No,
cheating.
It's mathematics. An assistant coach is going to tell them anyway.
You're right.
But anyway,
I love that. Thank you.
Hey, it's all good.
Put a bow on it.
Let's wrap this up with one more topic that is very important to us both.
It is.
The NBA is returning to London, January 2026, 18th. Yep.
At the O2 Arena.
That's right. The Orlando Magic and the Memphis Grizzlies are going head to head. How excited are you for this?
I'm really excited because obviously it's our backyard. I love London, and I think it's important to obviously showcase the NBA across the world. They do travel and go to different cities, but London's just special. I just feel like in the city, people are kind of new to the game in some aspects. You know, we have some great British teams, and so they're kind of getting more and more into it. I feel like it kind of had its peak. We had the 2012 Olympic Games.
Oh, we're showing our age now.
I'm showing my age. I'm a fine British wine. I competed in London Olympics, and it was at its peak.
Yeah.
You know? And so to bring the NBA there is just so exciting. Obviously, Magic 4th in the East, the Grizzlies 9th. So really two lovely teams. The Magic they did well in the Cup. So I will see if Ja Morant is on that Grizzlies
maybe.
team
You know what I love
January.
is the Orlando Magic have a huge fan base in the UK.
Okay.
The Orlando Magic fans in the UK go crazy. So first of all, shout out to all of you guys.
And it's not far.
It's because anytime I say anything bad about the Magic, they get onto me, right? But it's all love, right? I show love to everyone, and then if you play bad, I'll say bad things too. But shout out to all the Orlando Magic fans, right? They have a huge community here in the UK. The Grizzlies, there's not a huge community of Grizzlies fans, but so many kids are like wearing Ja Morant jerseys, wearing Ja Morant shoes.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good matchup to have over here. And I think from a personal thing, the first NBA game I went to was an NBA Europe Live tour in 2008. So they brought teams over in preseason of 2008. If I never went to that one game, do I end up doing everything I've done in life after that? Do I end up right here, right now, doing this? So the next version of me might be a kid who goes to the game on January 18th. So I think it's a very inspirational thing for the NBA to do, to inspire a whole generation of young people that they can see with their own eyes, their idols.
That's a great point, because I feel like when I was growing up, there wasn't, the prime to watch the NBA games. There was no W. There was no Azania Stewart. So for me, you're right. That is a great opportunity for young kids, grassroots, to go and watch, not only your favorite players, but to watch a high level game and to be inspired. I love that, Mo. Yeah.
Yes. And also, Ja Morant, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Jaren Jackson Jr., there's some star players, but there's also like the Jalen Suggs of the world, Cedric Howard of the world, these kind of under the radar players who I think are going to be household names one day. You get an early look at these guys.
Yeah, you do.
Before they're known by everyone. So I'm really excited for that. And do you know what else I'm really excited for?
Tell me.
Episode 2 of Starting Prime. So make sure all of you guys subscribe to the show right here, right now. If you love the NBA, make sure you lock in on Prime Video, because this season...
It's been fun already.
Really before this, they sent me to makeup because my dark circles were too bad, because I've been staying up addicted to watching all of these games this season.
Every time I speak to Mo, I'm like, how are you? He's like, man, I stayed up till late.
I can't help it. It's an addiction. Because they're unmissable. They're unmissable. This season has been electric. Every game, every matchup, every team. I'm just like fascinated by all of it. So all the games are there. You can watch them on Prime Video. But if you can't stay up and watch all the games, you can tune in to Starting Prime right here, and we'll tell you everything you need to know. I will lose my sleep so you at home don't have to.
What a lovely man.
Anyway, Azania, appreciate you.
Yeah,
that's been fun.
Wicked.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next episode.